Hi there, awesome folks aged 50 and up. This video has some really useful info that could make a big difference in your life. So don't miss it. Hit that like button to show some love and tap subscribe so you won't miss more health tips made just for you. Have you ever opened your eyes in the morning only to feel like you never truly rested? You try to shake off the fatigue, but it lingers. Your stomach feels heavy, your mind feels cloudy, and deep down, something just doesn't feel right. You think to yourself, maybe it's just of getting older. But what if I told you that's not the real reason? What if the truth had nothing to do with your age, and everything to do with what you're eating at night? Every evening, millions of seniors over 60 are unknowingly setting themselves up for restless sleep, morning discomfort, and long-term health issues. Not because they're careless, not because they don't care, but because no one ever told them what's really happening inside their body after dark. See, your body doesn't just shut down at night. It shifts into a different mode, one that's deeply connected to how you heal, restore, and age. And when we put the wrong foods into our body at the wrong time, we interrupt that sacred process, sometimes without even knowing it. The good news? It's never too late to change. And tonight could be the beginning of something entirely different. So stay with me for the next few minutes, because your body is speaking to you, and for the first time, you're about to truly understand what it's been trying to say all along. 1. Eating heavy meals late at night. It always starts with something so simple. A cozy dinner at home. A warm plate of rice, some juicy meat, and maybe a little dessert to end the day. You think to yourself, it's just food. I've been eating like this my whole life. But here's the truth no one ever told you. After the age of 60, your body isn't processing meals the way it used to. Your metabolism has slowed down. Your digestive strength has weakened. And the same meal that felt comforting years ago could now be silently working against you. You see, when you eat a heavy meal just an hour or two before bed, something unexpected happens. Your body, which should be preparing for deep rest, cellular repair, and hormone regulation, is suddenly forced to switch back on. Instead of focusing on healing, it's busy trying to break down a steak. Instead of calming your nervous system and lowering your blood pressure, it's working overtime to manage blood sugar spikes and insulin response. This internal stress doesn't just stay hidden. You feel it the next morning, even if you can't quite explain why. You wake up groggy even after 7 or 8 hours in bed. You might feel bloated, gassy, or sluggish. Some nights, you toss and turn with acid reflux creeping up your chest. Other nights, your heart feels like it's racing, like your body just never truly shut down. Light science explanation. As we age, our gastric emptying slows down, sometimes by as much as 50%. This means the food we eat, especially heavy and fatty meals, sits in the stomach far longer than before. At night, this delay can cause pressure to build, leading to indigestion, heartburn, and disrupted sleep cycles. And over time, this chronic strain impacts not just digestion, but heart health, liver function, and even brain clarity. Alternative tip. So what can you do? Try eating your final main meal 3 to 4 hours before bedtime. Opt for lighter, more digestible options, like a warm vegetable soup, steamed fish with leafy greens, or a small bowl of congee. Give your body the space and time to process food properly before you lay your head down to sleep. Long-term consequence. If left unchecked, this seemingly harmless habit can lead to years of poor sleep quality, persistent weight gain that's hard to lose, and increased risk of metabolic issues and even cardiovascular disease. Because when your body is deprived of true rest night after night, it begins to break down in ways you may not see until it's too late. So before you reach for that heavy dinner plate late at night, pause and ask yourself, is this really what my body needs right now, or is it what my habit craves? 2. Consuming sugary snacks before bed. It's late in the evening, the house is quiet, and your sweet tooth begins to whisper. Maybe it's just one cookie, or a slice of banana bread from earlier today. Or perhaps you pour yourself a small glass of fruit juice, thinking it's a healthier choice. It feels innocent, harmless, even comforting. But beneath that sugary bite lies a hidden disruption that most people over 60 never see coming. You see, sugar doesn't just satisfy your cravings. It activates a powerful chain reaction in your body, one that could be interfering with your rest, your mood, and even your brain health. When you consume sugar before bed, your blood glucose rises rapidly. In response, your body releases insulin, the hormone that tries to bring sugar levels back down. But that sharp rise is almost always followed by a steep crash. This roller coaster doesn't just happen in your bloodstream. It also sends shock waves through your brain and nervous system. Light science explanation. Those sudden glucose spikes can suppress melatonin, your body's natural sleep hormone. And instead of entering a calm, restful state, your body increases cortisol, the stress hormone that keeps you alert and on edge. So even if you drift off quickly, your sleep is anything but peaceful. You might wake up in the middle of the night, heart slightly racing, mind wandering, feeling oddly anxious or wide awake. And by morning, instead of feeling rested, you feel foggy, drained, maybe even a little irritable, unsure why your sleep felt so shallow. Alternative tip. So what's the alternative? You can still satisfy those nighttime cravings, but in a smarter, more balanced way. Try a handful of raw almonds, rich in magnesium and healthy fats. Or a slice of whole grain toast with mashed avocado. It's filling, stabilizes blood sugar, and supports brain function. Even a small bowl of plain yogurt with a sprinkle of cinnamon can calm your system without the sugar crash. These options give your body nutrients, not chaos. They nourish you instead of stealing your rest. Long-term consequence. Over time, frequent nighttime sugar intake takes a heavy toll. It increases your risk of type 2 diabetes, even if you're not overweight. It can slowly feed into mood imbalances, contributing to depression and anxiety. And perhaps most concerning of all, it may impair cognitive function, clouding your memory, focus, and clarity as the years go by. So the next time that sweet craving hits late at night, pause. Ask yourself, is this treat worth the price of a restless mind and an aging brain? Because sometimes the sweetest choices in the moment can leave the bitterest consequences later on. 3. Skipping dinner or eating too little. You might think it's helping. Skipping dinner, eating just a little, telling yourself, I'm not that hungry, or it's better for my digestion. But here's the truth that often gets overlooked. Going to bed on an empty stomach can quietly sabotage your health, especially as you age. It may feel like discipline. It may even feel virtuous. But your body doesn't see it that way. Because after 60, your body has different needs. It needs consistent nourishment to keep your blood sugar stable, to preserve your muscles, to keep your brain calm and your sleep deep. But when you skip dinner, or eat too little, your body doesn't relax. It panics. Light science explanation. As we age, our glycogen reserves shrink. That means we have less stored energy to carry us through the night. When dinner is skipped, your body compensates by releasing cortisol, the stress hormone, to keep you alert and awake. And that peaceful sleep you hoped for? It slips away. You may find yourself tossing, turning, waking with a jolt, heart racing, sweat on your brow, not realizing it's not anxiety, it's low blood sugar. Alternative tip. The solution isn't a heavy meal. It's a smart one. A balanced, light dinner with protein, fiber, and healthy fats gives your body the fuel it needs without weighing you down. Try grilled salmon or chicken with leafy greens and a drizzle of olive oil. A small bowl of lentils and roasted vegetables. Even a boiled egg with a slice of avocado toast can do the trick. Long-term consequence. Chronic undereating at night doesn't just leave you tired. It accelerates muscle loss, weakens your immune system, clouds your thinking, and over time, it makes your body feel older than it truly is. Because food isn't just fuel. At this stage of life, it's medicine. And when given wisely, it becomes one of your greatest tools for healing. So if you've been skipping dinner, let this be your gentle reminder. You don't need to earn your right to eat. You need to honor your body with what it needs. A small, nourishing plate. A quiet meal without guilt. A kind gesture to your future self. Because a good night's sleep begins with a good evening meal. 4. Eating spicy, acidic, or fried foods. That crispy fried snack. That spicy stew that reminds you of your younger days. That tangy, tomato-based dish with just the right kick. It all feels so comforting in the moment. But later that night, as you lie in bed, you feel it creeping up. A burning sensation in your chest. A tightness in your throat. A bitter taste rising from your stomach. You toss, you turn. You sit up gasping for air. You wonder if it's just indigestion or something worse. The truth is, after 60, your body becomes far more sensitive to what you eat, especially in the evening. Spicy foods stimulate stomach acid production. Fried foods slow digestion and increase inflammation. Acidic foods weaken the protective barrier of your gut. And together, they can become a perfect storm. Light science. As we age, the lower esophageal sphincter, the muscle that keeps stomach acid from rising, weakens. At the same time, seniors produce less protective mucus in the stomach lining, leaving them more vulnerable to acid reflux and GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. This means that the same dish that gave you no trouble at 40 could leave you in agony at 65. You might blame aging, but often it's the food, not your age, that's to blame. And this doesn't just affect your comfort. It affects your sleep quality, your respiratory health, and even your risk of serious disease. Waking up repeatedly due to reflux disrupts the deep, healing stages of sleep, those crucial hours when your brain repairs itself and your heart gets to rest. Chronic reflux can lead to inflammation of the esophagus, known as esophagitis. And over time, that irritation can become something far more dangerous. Alternative tip. The solution isn't deprivation, it's awareness. You don't have to stop enjoying food. You just need to adjust when and how you enjoy it. Eat spicy or fried foods earlier in the day, at lunch or early afternoon. After 6 p.m., switch to gentler, soothing options like steamed vegetables, soft-boiled eggs, brown rice porridge, or a small bowl of plain oatmeal topped with chia seeds. Add herbs like ginger or turmeric for flavor, which also help calm the digestive system. Long-term consequence. Nighttime acid reflux, if ignored, can lead to chronic inflammation, erosion of the esophagus lining, and in rare but serious cases, Barrett's esophagus, a precancerous condition. It also increases the risk of sleep apnea, which strains your heart and brain over time. But you can stop this cycle. One smart choice at dinner can change the entire night. One change in your routine can help you sleep without pain, without coughing, without fear. Your body is asking for kindness, not punishment, not restriction, just kindness and wisdom. And it begins with the choices on your plate. 5. Drinking too much liquid before bed. You've heard it 1,000 times. Stay hydrated. Drink more water. And yes, it's true. Hydration is essential for every of your body, from your joints to your brain. But here's the nobody talks about. Timing matters. Drinking large amounts of water, tea, or juice right before bed may seem harmless, even healthy. But for many people over 60, this well-meaning habit can quietly wreak havoc on your nights and on your health. As we age, something subtle begins to change inside us. The kidneys, those hard-working filters, begin to slow down. They take more time to process fluids. At the same time, the bladder becomes more sensitive, more reactive, less able to hold for long periods without signaling the urge to go. The result? A frustrating, sleep-shattering cycle called nocturia, the medical term for waking up multiple times during the night to urinate. At first, it's once a night, then twice. Then sometimes, it feels like you're up every other hour, stumbling to the bathroom in the dark, half awake, half dreaming, just trying to make it back to bed. Light science explanation. As we grow older, our kidneys don't filter fluids as efficiently. But paradoxically, the bladder's urgency increases due to reduced elasticity and hormone shifts. This imbalance creates a perfect storm, more urine production and less ability to hold it. And every trip to the bathroom breaks into your deep sleep cycles, the ones your brain and body need most for repair and memory. But this isn't just about inconvenience. It's about safety and long-term health. Real-life consequence. Every interrupted sleep cycle reduces your brain's ability to clear waste, restore memory, and balance emotions. Even worse, getting up multiple times in the dark increases your risk of falls, which can be devastating after 60. A single trip to the bathroom can end in a fractured hip, or worse. Alternative tip. So how do you stay hydrated without sabotaging your sleep? It starts earlier in the day. Drink plenty of water throughout the morning and afternoon, when your body is active and your bladder is more capable. Then slowly taper off in the evening. About 2 hours before bed, begin limiting fluids. If you feel thirsty, sip, don't gulp, and choose water over tea or juice, which can irritate the bladder or contain hidden sugars and caffeine. Long-term consequence. Chronic sleep disruption caused by nocturia doesn't just make you tired. It increases your risk for depression, weakened immunity, and even dementia, because the brain relies on deep sleep to detox and function properly. So the next time you reach for that glass of water right before bed, pause. Ask yourself, is this helping me or quietly robbing me of the rest my body so desperately needs? Because sometimes taking care of yourself means not just what you do, but when you do it. 6. Emotional eating, the silent Sabbath. It's late. The house is quiet. The TV is off. The lights are low. And yet, there's a feeling you just can't shake. It's not hunger. It's something else. A whisper of loneliness. The touch of anxiety. A heaviness in your chest that you can't explain. So you open the fridge. You reach for a snack. Not because your stomach is empty, but because your heart is. This is emotional eating. And for many people over 60, it becomes a quiet, hidden struggle. Maybe the kids have moved out. Maybe your spouse has passed or changed. Maybe your days feel slower now, with fewer people to talk to, fewer places to go, fewer reasons to get dressed in the morning. And so, food becomes comfort, a distraction, a small pleasure in an otherwise quiet night. But here's the truth no one tells you. Food can soothe a moment, but it can never fill a void. Night after night, this habit doesn't just affect your waistline, it begins to affect your soul. Light science explanation. Emotional eating releases a short burst of dopamine, the brain's reward chemical. But over time, this artificial stimulation disrupts the balance of serotonin, the chemical that supports stable mood, sleep, and emotional resilience. So the more we eat to feel better, the more we can actually feel worse. It becomes a vicious cycle of temporary comfort followed by deeper emotional lows. And here's what's even more painful. When you wake up the next morning, the food is gone. But the feelings? They're still there. Only now, they're joined by guilt, shame, and physical discomfort. Alternative tip. So what's the way out? It begins with awareness. Keep a small journal or notepad beside your bed. The next time you feel the urge to snack late at night, pause. Write down what you're feeling. Are you sad? Anxious? Lonely? Bored? Let the page absorb your emotions instead of your body. And instead of food, try a different kind of nourishment. A warm cup of chamomile or lemon balm tea. A phone call to a trusted friend or family member, even just to say hello. Or simply a few deep breaths, hands over your heart, reminding yourself, I am safe. I am seen. I am not alone. Long-term consequence. When emotional eating becomes a nightly habit, the risks go far beyond calories. It can spiral into depression, deeper isolation, and even a form of food addiction that slowly steals your energy, your health, and your joy. But here's the hope. You're not broken. You're human. And these feelings, while painful, are not permanent. By recognizing emotional hunger for what it truly is, you can begin to heal from the inside out. So the next time you find yourself reaching for food at night, ask yourself, what do I really need right now? Because more often than not, it's not in the fridge. It's in your heart. 7. Eating in front of screens. It starts out so casually. You sit down with your dinner, maybe something warm and comforting. You flip on the TV or scroll through your phone, just for a few minutes, just to keep yourself company. But before you know it, your plate is empty, and you barely remember eating. No moment of satisfaction. No pause to appreciate the flavors. No signal from your body that says, I've had enough. And that's the hidden danger of eating in front of screens. It's not just about distraction. It's about disconnection. Your eyes may be on the screen, but your brain is no longer tuned into your body. You chew faster. You swallow without thinking. And you eat far more than you intended, often without truly enjoying a single bite. Light science explanation. Digital screens, whether it's a TV, phone, or tablet, overstimulate the brain. This reduces your ability to produce melatonin, the hormone you need for restful sleep. It also delays satiety signals, meaning your body's natural, I'm full messages don't get processed until it's too late. Your brain becomes overloaded, and your stomach ends up paying the price. You might finish your meal feeling overly full, sluggish, or even slightly irritable. And by bedtime, your sleep is already compromised, disrupted by the artificial light, mental stimulation, and that overworked digestive system. Real-life reflection. Many people eat in front of screens because it fills the silence. It's easier than eating alone. easier than sitting with your thoughts. But over time, this habit dulls more than just your hunger cues. It can dull your relationship with food and even with yourself. Alternative tip. Instead, make dinner a quiet, intentional ritual of care. Turn off the TV. Set your phone aside. Light a small candle. Play soft, calming music. Sit at the table, even if it's just you. Smell your food. Notice its colors. Take smaller bites. Give your body time to say, "That's enough." If you live with someone, make this your time to talk. If you live alone, use the silence as a sacred space to reconnect with yourself. Because meals were never meant to be rushed or ignored, they're moments to nourish both body and spirit. Long-term consequence. Distracted eating isn't just a short-term problem. Over the years, it leads to weight gain, poor digestion, and broken sleep cycles. It trains your brain to eat on autopilot and disconnects you from one of the most powerful daily acts of self-care, mindful nourishment. So the next time you sit down to eat, ask yourself, am I feeding my body or just numbing my mind? Because when you bring your full attention to your food, you bring yourself back to life. You've heard the truth now. The real reasons behind the sleepless nights, the sluggish mornings, the quiet discomfort that sneaks in with age. You've seen how simple habits, a late snack, a sugary treat, a glass too much, or a quiet meal in front of a screen, can quietly erode your health one night at a time. They seem small, but they're not, because when repeated every evening, they become a silent rhythm that shapes your future. Night after night, year after year, these moments write the story of your aging, not with loud alarms, but with whispers that grow into consequences. But here's the beautiful truth. It's never too late to change. Not for your body, not for your brain, and certainly not for your future. You are not stuck. You are not too old. And you are not beyond transformation. Because aging, real, vibrant, powerful aging, is not about giving up what you love. It's about choosing what loves you back. You deserve more than restless sleep. You deserve more than waking up tired, bloated, or blue. You deserve peace, energy, vitality. You deserve to wake up with a clear mind, a light heart, and a body that feels like it's still on your side. And it can start tonight, not with a giant overhaul, but with one small decision. One choice to eat a little earlier. One choice to reach for tea instead of sugar. One choice to listen to your body instead of the television. One choice to care for yourself, not out of guilt, but out of respect. Eat lighter. Eat slower. Eat with intention. And let the night become a time of healing, not harm. Because when you treat your evenings with care, your mornings will return the favor. Your body will thank you. Your heart will thank you. Your mind will begin to clear, your energy will slowly return, and your sleep will become your superpower again. And when you wake up tomorrow, something might feel different. Not just in your stomach, but in your soul. You may feel a little more alive, a little more in control, a little more like you. Because the truth is, a longer, healthier life isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things, the simple things, especially at night. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to begin. So tonight, make a promise to yourself, to your future, to the life you still have the power to shape. Take care of yourself. You are worth it, and always have been.